Okay, so in this part, it's going to last about 20 minutes. We're going to talk about hardware, so the gear we use, like the physical items that we use, and also the software and applications that we use. So these together make up our tools of trade or business. So these things make the photobar run, and they're really, really important. And a general knowledge of everything is important for you. We will not talk so much in detail about all the software. We'll more learn how you use, which parts of it you use to make sure your delivery, like you do what you need to do. First, we're going to talk about fotobar and what that means in the way of hardware gear. First of all, we have 5 units, 2, 3, 4, 5 units that you normally bring with you to an event. Of course, there can be more, and there are variations to that, but that's the most common thing that we will do. There's one case with a photobar, one case with a printer, one case with a sharing station. I've mixed Norwegian and English here. And then one case with props or effects, and then one with a backdrop. And these all together make up the photobar as a unit. Inside of each case there are some different items, and we often teach you what the different things are so that we can talk the same language if you need assistance at the event or if you need some instructions. So inside a photobar we have a Surface computer. It's a tablet computer that runs everything, runs all the software and connects to the camera and to the printer. It's installed inside. There's a router. The router is a mobile hotspot. It connects to the 4G internet or 3G internet, mobile data, and it broadcasts a Wi-Fi network that the Surface connects to, and that our iPad sharing station also connects to, so that they can talk together, so the images can be transferred. Also, what the router, the Wi-Fi mobile router does is it allows us to have the ability for people to share images and send them to themselves. Then there's the camera. The camera is installed inside the photobar, the unit, the box itself, and the camera connects to the Surface. And of course, talks with that, and anytime an image is taken, that's what does the job. There's a flash, and the flash trying to make cool illustrations here, makes the light, and it's also connected to the camera. And there are some additional things like supplies. We did look at this, and so there's supplies such as extra cables, flash replacement parts, and other things inside here. And inside the box, of course, is the photobar itself, which is the unit, the stand on which it stands, and everything that goes along with that. So that's the contents of this first box, and that is it all has its own spot inside the box. Secondly, we have the printer, and the printer we keep separately because it's quite heavy, and so we have a separate case for that. Inside the printer case is the printer unit itself, and the printer connects to the Surface computer and allows the images to be printed. There's also some cables, extra power supply, power extension, so that you can connect yourself to a nearby power outlet. There is the sharing station, as I described earlier. Inside that there's an iPad. The iPad has a power connector that goes out and is connected to a power supply. There's also the prop box inside there. We have different kinds of themes. About the props, people may ask at an event, what kind of props do you have? Like if I'm doing a Christmas event, do you have Christmas props? Or if I'm doing a wedding, do you have anything specific for me? If you ever get that question, the answer is yes. We have many different types of packages, and you can go to our website and see the different kinds and browse the different options that are there. But for Christmas time, we'll have Christmas props often, And for other times, we always have a standard kit, which contains about the same thing every time. And then we have the backdrop, and we have many different backdrop prints, and clients are allowed to select that in advance. So you would be supplied with a backdrop that is marked for your event, that is specific for that. And for backdrops, we also make custom backdrops for our clients. Sometimes we'll receive their wish and find something unique for them and print that for them. If a client ever asks, oh, can I have this with something else for my own event when you're there, you can say yes. We do actually design and print these backdrops for the client. It's just to send us an email or call us and we can help them get that done. So these things here together make the standard kit of Fotobahn. Of course, sometimes we may have an extra sharing station, or 2 or 3, depending on how many people there are. We often recommend more sharing stations if there are a lot of people. For props, we may have 2 prop kits with us because they want 2 themes at once. And for backdrops, sometimes the client may want you to have 2 backdrops, but it's very rare. But things can happen, variations can happen. So then the next question is, on the surface, what do we run of different kinds of software? So this computer runs different applications that do different, have different purposes. Our main workhorse software is this program called DSLR Mode Pro. It runs the camera, it runs the printer, and it allows us to display what the user sees on the screen in front of them, and that's what makes the experience run. Secondly, I think it's easier to look at this if you think about functions. So if we say DSLR Mode Pro's function is to capture media, content, PicPic Social has the function of distribution. PicPic Social distributes images. What it does is DSLR Mode Pro, it captures, it may also be distribution, but what this DSLR Mode Pro does is allows us to print as well. But the distribution of the images digitally, the digital files that we want people to get access to immediately on the iPad sharing station, that is run by PicPic Social. And PicPic Social is installed on this Surface as a program, and it runs one part here that communicates with an app that is here. And those two, they talk together at all times. If a new photo is captured by DSLR Mode Pro, PicPic Social finds the new image and it uploads it to a server which this iPad can fetch the images from. So when we take a picture, we usually tell the client, this is a question you often get, oh, my photos are not showing up. It usually takes 20 seconds, 30 seconds for the images to show up on the iPad. 20 to 30 seconds is normal. So capturing with DSLR Mode Pro, distributing with PicPic Social, displaying with Fotobahn Uploader. We've built our own software for creating a slideshow functionality. And what this uploader does, it basically allows us to upload the images to a server where we can fetch them down and display them as a slideshow. So Fotobahn Uploader looks for the same files that are captured by DSLR Mode Pro, and it uploads them when there's a new one. It uploads it to the cloud so that we can display it. We have another software which you won't necessarily touch at all or ever be involved with because it just works in the background, but it's nice for you to know. And this software, Monitor or Batch Photo, there's 2 names to it because they have functions, its function is to convert. Capture, distribute, display, and convert. Because the images we capture are on a high quality, high resolution DSLR camera, the images are huge, they're big files. And if we were to do all of that transfer over the Wi-Fi, it would crash. In fact, we've tried and it doesn't last long. So what Batch Photo does, it converts. Not only does it convert, but also edits. So we could say convert and edit, but I'll just say convert. It converges the image from a high resolution image to still a great resolution image, but just something that is made for social sharing and for consuming on a small phone screen. It also applies a little filter. So when people ask, wow, why does the photo look so good? I just say there's a little Chinese guy sitting inside there and he's he's editing all the photos on the run. But the truth is, Monitor is back there and doing the work of converting the image and editing, applying a filter to it. You don't have to know so much about it, but you need to know that it is there, and occasionally if the computer needs a restart, you might need to make sure that it's running. So, Dropbox, it has the function of managing. Each time you start an event, you will be selecting your event in DSLR Mode Pro to start it. And in that event, there's a lot of settings stored. So the settings are related to what does your print image look like? How many images are being captured, and so on and so forth. So there's some unique settings that are unique to your event that are stored there. That's being managed in Dropbox. We save all the settings of this software on a folder on Dropbox, which means that if you have technical issues, we can remote control those settings and help you. So, and also, if there should be a problem, we need to replace the photo bar with another one, which we've never done, but it could happen. We can just take the settings in Dropbox on one and transfer it to a new one and be back on track in the shortest possible time. You don't need to be in there, but you need to understand it. Dropbox has a second functionality, but I'll talk about it in a second as a second item. It has a second function. Besides managing the setting of your event, it also collects the images. So at the end of an event, you're required to take the images on your computer from your event and transfer them to a specific folder that is on the desktop of your computer and deliver them there. Dropbox will then do its thing. It will synchronize the images, and we will have those images available already on this Mac right here, which is used for editing the photos. So we collect the images from all the events through Dropbox as well. So at your event, you would have to upload the photos, be sure that they're all synchronized, and then you're done with Dropbox. We will then delete them later. So TeamViewer is the final piece, and this is helping.
Yeah, I've used that before.
Yes. So many companies probably use this application or similar ones. It's a remote desktop application which allows you to control a computer remotely. So we use this to help you. If you ever have an issue, we will ask you, is TeamViewer running on your computer? Which it should do automatically, but in case we'll ask you if you're doing that. In fact, you should make it work first before you call us. And then we'll help you. So we can remote in, as long as you have an internet connection, we can do everything you can do from our computers or our phones. The technical assistance team will do that.